Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So it is Johnny and Chanel's last day in Salem, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't, I don't really care. Um, I will sit there and say that the last story before they left seemed like it was actually pretty good with the whole baby and what's gonna end up happening with it. Um, and that drama, so I give them credit for that. Um, Now Lonnie and Eli are actually back as well. And I'm going to be honest, I also don't care about that. I mostly don't care about that because they come in once, they're there for like maybe a day or 2 days, and then they're just gone. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't even really matter if I actually cared or not because they're going to be gone in like less than 24 hours. But Stefan is still putting pressure on EJ's neck as far as making sure that he gets it done, that he is going to be the district attorney again. And EJ's like, hey, listen, I didn't get an answer yet, but she didn't sit there and say no. Which I was kind of surprised by, like how he just left it like that, but whatever. So they're going back and forth, and Stefan keeps talking about, oh, I'm gonna sit there and tell Nicole the truth, and this, that, and the third. And Johnny comes in. Johnny's like, what is this weird? What is this energy going on? Stefan leaves, and Johnny tells EJ that he's leaving Salem to, be a director and everything. And surprisingly, EJ is very supportive. He respects his decision to look him in the eye and tell him that he wants to do it regardless of what EJ wanted for him. And he's just super supportive about the whole thing. Now, he does also ask, because, there's a whole party that's going on at Chanel and at Paulina's and Abe's place, and they're celebrating their wedding anniversary, Juneteenth, and they're wishing Johnny and Chanel a goodbye, which Paulina's having a hard time. She missed her little girl and yada 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 and blah 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 blah. They all eventually get together, right? After Chanel also tells Lonnie that, she's leaving Salem and everything. They all get together, and EJ shows up because Johnny's like, "Oh, just to let you know, I asked EJ, could he come along or whatever." I was like, "You don't think that you should have probably gave Paulina like a heads up before you just showed up and were just like, oh, by the way, I invited him." It's like, well, what if she had a problem with it? Then he just shows up in the house and like, well, I guess it would have been too late anyway. But EJ once again puts pressure on Paulina by saying, "Hey, listen, if you don't make me DA, I will make sure that recount goes through." And so she gives in and she decides to sit there and give back his job. And Paulina, like the POS that she is, decides to fire Melinda, talking about, oh well, I just sit there and say that you work at the mayor's discretion, and just it is what it is. But I'll find you something, maybe sanitation or whatever. She hangs up the phone on it. I'm like, good for her. Honestly, tell you the truth, I wish you would have sat there and cursed her out before she did that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't really have much love for Melinda as well. But I'm like, in all reality, maybe Paulina deserves to lose her job. Maybe she really deserves to lose her job. I mean, she did sit there and do something impulsive and not just endanger her life, but also endanger Julie's and Johnny's life as well. You are firing people for emotional decisions and to sit there and save your own ass. So in all reality, you deserve to lose your job. Let's just be very clear about that. Now Jada approaches Steph and is like, hey, listen, I got a way to help out Gabby. How about you go to Clyde and you tell him that, you're willing to sit there and try to move his products again and, exchange for this, that, and the third, and we could sit there and try to get, Gabby out of jail. And Steph was like, I don't want to work with Clyde again. Also, I don't think that he's stupid enough to sit there and fall for me wanting to work for him again. I don't care how greedy and desperate he may be. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a no. And also, I may wind up doing something that would inadvertently cause Gabby more pain. Now he does slip that he does have another way of getting Gabby out, but he doesn't sit there and say what it is. And Jada's like, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it's illegal. But he says no, and he just walks off. He goes back to the house, and EJ's like, yeah, I got my job, and don't worry, I'll sit there and help you out, and get Gabby clear. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and say it. I'm gonna sit there and say this again. I really do believe that Pauline should be fired. Um, oh, Chad and Julie. They go out to the bank. They talk to the bank manager, and they got the deposit. They got the box, but the guy's like, "All right, so what's the combo so we could sit there and open it up?" And they don't know it, and they're like, "Hey, listen, can't you do something?" And he's like, I can't. It's against our policy, and plus, I don't even know the code. Even if I was to sit there and try to help you, so and I'm not gonna lie, this is the part where it could have been really skippable, right? They didn't need to actually even get to this, show off all this. Because in all reality, Chad made a couple of calls to talk to Rafe, to talk to the guy who's um talk to another guy to talk to Goldman to sit there and get the code. And all that could have been avoided. I mean, all that could have sat there and been skipped. They didn't really need to sit there and show all that stuff. I know it was for a dramatic effect or suspense, but it just led us right back to the same part. Seems unnecessary. But anyway, they would sit there, it's a flash drive, and they look at it, and it just shows a woman with blonde hair that they can't really see in the room somewhere. So they're guessing it may be Abby. Now, I did sit there and see something on Instagram on Days of Our Lives, and this woman has blonde hair, and she's like, I don't know what character I'm playing. Now, I didn't sit there and look at the comments because, sometimes the comments can be um, god awful. Um, but, we can all assume that is Abby. Now, we can be wrong, but we can all assume that it could be Abby. So, yeah. And then, Zillion of Chicago, right? Now, Eli's like, hey, listen, I'm going to go and sit there and check on Julie and show her the twins and everything like that because he brought the twins there, who are like now 5 or 6 or something. And I'm like, but she's in Chicago. She's not going to be back by the time you just, take a little drive down there. But, I mean, what kind of jet do they have? Did they just go through wormholes or something like that? Like, I thought that when he got there, he wasn't going to be able to sit there and see Julie, but he did. Julie was there. So, what were they going, like Mach 10 or something like that? Anyway, they talked a little bit, and, Julie's like, she's very vague. She's like, yeah, I have to sit there and go to Chicago to sit there and take care of some stuff. So, I don't know if it's going to pan out or not. Don't say what it is, but just that she went to go sit there and do some business. It's a little odd that um, Eli didn't really sit there and kind of press her on it a little bit. Your grandma's out there in Chicago to sit there and take care of some business. I don't know what the hell it is. Um, Chicago is not exactly the safest place. I'll just sit there and say, hell, it used to be a nickname for it, Chirac. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And yes, I know she was with Chad, but still. I would have been like, yo, listen, what is the business you guys sit there and go lay out there for? Let's see, what else? What else? What else? And another part of the story that just like doesn't seem like it makes that much sense. It's like it just had to work out, right? Like EG just had to be able to get his job back, and I didn't even think that was possible. It was like, yo, listen, you just hired Melinda, you just hired this chick, and then just like that, She's out. And I thought that Paulina was going to sit there and fight a little bit more harder than just sitting there caving and letting EJ just get his way. But no, Paulina did. And in all reality, I'm surprised that Abe just went along with that too. I'm really surprised by that. This is just kind of bad writing, if we're going to be honest. I don't see Abe just going lightly with that. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. I can't think of anything else, but as I always sit there and say, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless. And if you are not a member, make sure you click in the description box below. I do exclusive live streams every weekend just for members only. You have some really good conversations. I do exclusive videos just for members, and I do monthly member shoutouts with each month, every month, I sit there and do a shout out. I will literally sit there and shout out your name just as a thank you for sitting there being a part of the channel, and supporting me. So you definitely want to sit there and do that as well. And I will see you in the next video.